Hey friends, on today's episode, I'm going to show you the most amazing chair makeovers that you will not believe. So stay tuned. The first makeover that I want to show you is this armchair, and it was a French armchair I found. I think I found it on Craigslist or Marketplace, and it had a big cushion on it. It had tufting on the top, and that was actually a cushion too. And I just reimagined the chair. I threw away the cushions because they were old and gross, and I decided to create what I call a tight seat on the chair, which is one of the easiest things to do when you learn how to do upholstery. And it totally transformed the chair, as you can see. This next chair was a little bit of an experiment. It was actually a smaller Victorian chair, and I took one of my favorite fabrics by Designers Guild and put it on this chair. Now, I chose a black paint because often on old antiques, they have a lot of lumps and bumps on the wood, and this really does help hide any kind of imperfections in the wood. So I went with the black paint, but again, this fabric is amazing with white paint as well. So there's many things you can do here. Now on this next set, this is a set of larger Victorian chairs, and I had a neighbor call and say, hey, this is in my neighborhood, someone put these out on the curb. And so they went and grabbed them for me, and I went to their house and picked them up, and I ended up redoing them with some Mexican textiles on them. So who would even think that you could mix the Victorian style with something like authentic textiles from Mexico? And I chose all jewel-toned seats, and it just made a real spectacular show of a chair. Now, this little set that you're seeing here was a really fun project. I did it for a lady who was exhibiting at the Las Vegas fashion show, and they had a booth, and they had a real bohemian vibe with their clothes. So I transformed each one of these chairs you see to the left. This is what you see over here on the right. So we have Mexican textiles, we have Uzbekistan, beautiful fabric, and different kinds of velvets. It's amazing what you can do with antique chairs. Now this set was particularly near and dear to my heart. It was not anything spectacular over to the left. There was cane on the top. I took the cane out and upholstered the top in a really fun Kim Parker fabric, and I did this as a donation to a family that had just relocated to the United States from Syria, and they were in desperate need of some furniture, and I did this for their large family, and we also had a bench there. So that was just a really fun project. Now this little set of Victorian chairs, I do these all the time, and what I end up doing, they usually have like a dark finish. Some are really worn off, so I end up sanding. And I get a sander, a very small handheld, and I sand off the wood. And sometimes I paint them, but this time I went ahead and left it to give it that bohemian vibe. I found a wall hanging textile that I put on the top of the chairs and put jewel tone seats. Now, here you see me, stripping down a chair, and you're going to see all the process. I talk about this all the time. Doing upholstery is not difficult. It just takes the know-how, and it takes a little bit of time. And when you know the steps of what to do, it's not hard at all to do. You just have to practice. And the most fun thing about doing chairs for me is the design. It's figuring out what the chair should look like in a space and using my creativity. And so I do the steps of upholstery just to do them so I can get the look on the chair, and I play around with the fabric. I figure out the right fabric placement, and it just sparks my creativity and my joy. If you're interested in doing chairs too, my online course, DIY Upholstery, is now open, only for 5 days for enrollment. And in this course, it's all pre-recorded. You can start whenever you want. You have lifetime access to the course, and you can rewatch the modules as many times as you need. Go to the link down below. It's chairwhimsy.com/course. I'll see you next time, friends. Bye-bye.